Yo, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to the To Be Hero X video. Honestly, I am so stoked for this one. To Be Hero X, I feel like has really kind of taken things to the next level. Kind of proven that, like, hey, we're them. Like, we are them. Like, we are just that good. We know what we're doing, and we can execute on a very high level. Because what they did here is that, like, I'm not gonna lie, To Be Hero X had a phenomenal start, coming out of nowhere and just shocking the anime community, and it was the best. But then it kind of starts to, like, fall off a little bit, because, like, they start to, like, build, like, a more extensive plot line where we kind of combine 3 arcs on, one kind of story. And it was solid, but we don't know about it, so, like, it kind of felt slow, like, with, like, Lolly's arc and stuff. And they kind of just been ramping things up recently and taking things to a whole nother level where I'm sitting here like, bro, because we have the end of the Johnny's arc, which was just phenomenal. Just phenomenal. We go into the Dragon Boy arc, which we're going to be talking about here today, that it dominated. Like, Dragon Boy was such a phenomenal character. He's so well designed. He's so cool. I mean, the lore we got, dude, we're getting so much more about X. Like, are you kidding me? We're finally learning more about this guy. And then, of course, we're sitting here like, alright guys, we have this dog ep and X's ep, and then the season's over. Let's just skip the dog ep, let's go straight to X's ep, and let's get this amazing cinematic masterpiece that is going to be the season finale. Bro, I bite my words, I am so sorry, Ahu, I didn't mean to not put respect on the name, because, I mean, listen, he is not my favorite hero, probably not even in my, like, top half, but his arc, that one episode, I think is the greatest episode throughout this entire season. The plotline was amazing, the characters were amazing, the background music was phenomenal, the amount of lore we got was incredible, and again, we're gonna get to it, but kind of skipping to the end here. I mean, when we came full circle at the end there with Nice, with OG Nice, where he got the fear on him, and then he has that, like, psychotic break, and it snaps out, like, the OG kind of, like, animation style we've been used to this entire time, and he's at that tower, like, at the moment where he jumped. I was like, you guys win. Like, you guys win. Like, what is that? Is Nice, like a good guy? Like not like a good guy, but, like, is he probably one of my favorites? Like, it's absolutely insane. I think that these last 3 episodes were literally cinematic masterpieces. To Be Hero X, well fucking done. We're gonna be getting into it. And this weekend, boys, we're getting the season finale. And I'm honestly not ready. I'm not. It's gonna be so fucking perfect.
I thought the Ahu arc, like you already spoke about it, we kind of overlooked it and we're like, whatever, Ahu, it's just a dog, don't
Yep.
really care. Let me get Hero X. Of course, he shows up at the fucking vending machine casually, as he always does,
Yeah.
in the most random spots.
Mm-hmm.
And the Ahu arc was phenomenal. We've had a lot of great backstories, a lot of tragic incidents in these heroes' pasts, but Ahu, I feel like, was one of the best.
Yeah.
The girl adopting him based off his circus past, like, and the journey they go through together, like the whole landlord, like stealing up their deeds and like intimidating, the townspeople to make this happen. I thought was a great plot line. It's like a little bit relatable, I'm sure, in some way. I could not begin to say how good this was. Dragon Boy, phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like a lot of these arcs, especially when you go back to the Johnny's arc, you get to see what happened with Nice. Nice is this overarching plot line. We get introduced to in episode 1. You're like, yo, what the fuck? A top hero just like kills himself and jumps off a building.
Mm-hmm.
But then once you get into the backstory, like, you can't help but feel for Nice. Like, Nice is a good dude, but he's forced to work for a dog shit company and like he's put in some pretty precarious situations. That made me really like Nice a lot, and I could see it coming. But now that we got like the full backstory of it, I thought it was phenomenal. I really enjoyed Nice's storyline. But Dragon Boy, dude, I feel like is understated because of so much like action going on. There was so much these 2 arcs between Ahu and Dragon Boy, like, and even going back to the Johnny's arc, like Nice is there in the mix the whole time. I thought this was sensational, and like To Be Hero Nice is him. It's that good. Unreal writing, incredible foreshadowing for me, and we've talked about this on the podcast, like anime of the year material.
Yo,
So good.
that's the thing. Like, we were talking, you guys know we have an anime podcast. Episodes drop every week. We talk about stuff that's been coming out. It is a ton of fun. Check it out if you like. But something we brought up is that, like, yeah, like this anime of the year kind of race, it's like actually for the first time, like, phenomenal. Like I so many animes like genuinely deserve it. I mean, Soul Leveling Season 2 broke a ton of records, destroyed Crunchyroll servers, awesome. Takapi's Original Sin, I mean, is like the highest rated anime like ever. 6 episodes of just absolute peak. We have Gachiakuta or Gachiakuta that is just dominating for a premiere, and again, it's about to break the fucking internet. And then To Be Hero X, which is just not even like sourced. There is no manga. It's like we kind of created this kind of like on the spot. I'm pretty sure we have this amazing season, and then we're gonna be talking about a lot more next week when we drop another 2B Hero X, our last 2B Hero X for a while video. But season 2 is gonna be based off of our voting of who we think is the coolest, and that is going to base how strong we are in the season 2 hero tournament to decide who's going to be X. So we literally get to decide kind of how or influence how season 2 takes control. Like you can name any of these anime of the year, and I am happy with that. So I think that this is insane. But what I want to bring up that you kind of touched on, one thing that I think is an absolute lock, a guarantee, finalists, they win, give them the trophy, pat them, put them on their way, it's done. Nice has got to be the greatest supporting character in any anime of this year because they made him...
Go, bro.
Yeah, I mean, he starts off in the beginning of the season, jumping off the building, you're like, what the fuck happened? Then our boy kind of comes over and takes over his life. Does a great job. We absolutely love him. But then he ends up getting brought back later in the season towards like the mid to end where he's the villain. And oh my god, did they portray him as such a phenomenal villain? We're like, of course, like when we're looking at the Ahu app, right? And it's like, oh yeah, they put a hero assigned to this, to take care of this. It's like, of course it was nice that was being like corrupt and scummy, being the evil guy with the taking the deeds and stuff. And I was like, yeah, it makes perfect sense. But then you sit there too, and you create this like backstory where like you kind of feel for Nice. They literally manipulated him with perfection. They made it so he had obsessed with perfection, and it controlled him. And it like that fear. It controlled him since day one, you know what I mean? Not it just being on him, but then coming full circle with him at the end here, where we ended up seeing him come right back to the building. It was like, I've never seen a character story, progression, development as phenomenal as Nice, especially in such short amount of time. The roller coaster we've been on with this guy, like there is nothing greater. I think if there's a supporting character of the year, it is Nice by far, who no one competes. He's incredible.
Dude, you are so right. The way they built Nice up, and from the very beginning, like there's an air of mystery around him. Like, why the fuck did he just jump off the building 10 minutes into the first episode?
Well, he does it too, though. You know what I
mean? Straight finger guns, like, hey, I'm out. And dives out. But, like, when you see all the shit that he goes through, and, like, he is a good dude. Like, at heart, I think he's a good person. Mm-hmm. He's forced to work for FOMO, who... pretty horrible company. Mm-hmm. That guy is a menace. And you could see it wear on him. And, like, from the Johnny's arc till now, especially with the fight at the alien spaceship, he really, like, had a big mental toll taken on him. And I love that, dude. He played it so well, and it was written very well to, like, see that fatigue. So, like, when Ahu gets the, attacks the villain and gets the fear on him, you can see him crashing out, and, like, he really starts freaking out, like, this can't happen to me. Like, I can't be abducted by fear. And then he goes back to the building and is, like, freaking out. And, of course, the chairman or CEO, whatever you want to call him, he's like, you failed. You're a loser. What are you going to do to make this right? And he's just, like, freaking out. It's like, damn, you can't help but feel bad for him.
Bro, he was the catalyst of every major moment in this series. I mean, the first of him jumping off, the first arc, the Nice arc, was like, it was phenomenal. It was the greatest way to start this series, even though it confused people because it kind of fucked the timeline a little bit, right? But then Lolly's crash out, that's completely fueled by Nice. That whole, like, Civil War we had, that episode, was completely created by him. You know what I mean? He's the one that really drove that and created a lot of those sick, badass moments. And now everything with the Ahu arc as well. Even with the Dragon Boy arc. We saw him in that as well, where he was like, he kind of came in and he backstabbed Dragon Boy. You know what I mean? Where he looked up to Smiles. And he was like, yo, like, this is the guy that got me into wanting to be a hero, you know what I mean? And Dragon Boy was like, oh yeah, they got Nice on my side, right? But like you said, at heart, Nice is a good... Dude, Nice was in like a toxic, bad relationship with that one fucking dude from the company that was kind of like manipulating him. And he, like, Nice just wanted to, like, just please him. Wanted to just be like, I finally did what you wanted, like, accept me, you know what I mean? Praise me, type of shit. He just wants to be in the top 10 so it can be over. And he can be done with it. That moment where he was like, nah, you know what, fuck this, and he kind of backstabs Dragon Boy, which, by the way, like, getting into the Dragon Boy arc, Dragon Boy's a sick fucking dude, and the fact that he got stabbed with that fear from Nice, and then it turns into this mutant monster, and then goes to work. I mean, bro, dude, he's such a fucking cheat code. Like Dragon Boy is such a bullshit ability. First of all, his design, his aesthetics are so cool. His story's awesome, but his powers is like, bro, he's like one of the only people that I feel like got, like, so blessed with his fucking powers. They're so fucking OP, bro. It's insane.
Dude, he has such a good, like, trope ability, whatever you want to call it for
Yeah.
anime. I need to take a bunch of damage, but the more you fuck me up, the stronger I get.
Yeah.
And as the battle rages on, you're like, damn, Dragon Boy's getting his ass kicked with a smile in the beginning, and then like turns the tide, and it's like, yo, where did this come from?
Mm-hmm.
The way he ate that fear injection and literally used it as basically a power up. It was like, yo, Dragon Boy is built different.
Mm-hmm.
And we know like the whole connotation and backstory with him trying to become Hero Zero
Yeah.
or just Zero. You know, like literally a god, the first true hero.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's his plot point and like his entry into the story. To pair his ability with that, I think is incredibly well done. I think it's really well written, and it makes Dragon Boy like not a villain, but like a really good angle into the story where like everybody's competing to be Hero X,
Yeah.
and you get a guy like this who, you know, his company is backing him and prepping him to be Zero. I think that's phenomenal. Dragon Boy was introduced incredibly well, and yeah, amazing aesthetics, looks badass, fights badass, and his like fear form so sick.
Bro, and that's like the thing that like makes him so OP is not only that like okay, the more damage I take, the stronger I am. So the stronger my enemies, I'll always be able to kind of like step up and still fight. You know what I mean? I'll always be able to rise to that occasion. It's the fact that like the heroes like the trust value system because it can make them super strong. But the problem is it's like yin and yang. When you have one, you gotta have the other. So with trust, you have fear. And fear is the one thing that can kind of shit on them all. You know what I mean? Which is kind of why they kind of want to wipe
Yeah,
the system because it's easier to control. You know what I mean? These heroes wouldn't have like a weakness like that. Dragon Boy doesn't have that weakness. The fact that he can just take fear, like, oh, you're trying to stop me with this? That's cute. It's now a fucking weapon. I'm immune to it and I can use it against you. It's like, oh, yeah, okay. Awesome. So, how do we deal with this monster other than X being able to just speaking of OP, I mean, that is the one cool thing. I mean, uh, X shows up and we finally see like kind of like what his powers do, which is kind of cool because every time we've seen X so far, it's just been the snap, and then every time we're like, what happened? It's like you
that's
lost.
it.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So the fact that we're actually like, seeing it in the Dragon Boy and the Ahu arc of like what actually happens, so fucking cool. I mean, X kind of snapping, and he's just like you see him like literally kind of dancing, dodging, on the floor and in the walls against those guys at the vending machine. Just so fucking cool. Bro is so unbelievably overpowered, and the fact that he disguises himself is so amazing.
That was one of the most unique anime scenes I've seen. He sees them, snaps, brings them into the sidewalk, and like the way they walk up the wall, that scene where they're like swinging at him and he's
Mm-hmm.
dodging, dancing, like having a good time, but they're like animated on the wall. I was like, yo, that is incredibly creative. It's super relevant to like X's powers that we still don't really know what the fuck they are, but
Sort
like
of, yeah.
it fit the narrative, sort of ish, yeah. But it fit the narrative super well, and like it was incredibly entertaining. I thought that was incredibly well done. Like, way to like emphasize somebody's powers that you really haven't announced yet or explained yet.
But we need to know like who he is because like, dude, I feel like this is one of those series where you go back and you watch and like, oh my god, this is fucking peak because you missed so much because X was there. I mean, X keeps disguising himself, like where it's like, oh, we see a dude and we think, oh, it's just a nobody, it's just a guy at the vending machine. It's like, no, like that's actually the most OP, broken, godlike
Lucky
person.
Cyan too.
Mm-hmm. He was on
Yeah,
Lucky
just
Science
like
arc.
popping a gold coin. Yeah, she'll turn into like a top 10 hero.
Yeah, and it's just like we
So
also
good.
saw him in Dragon Boys like before that too. Before he like jumped in and fought, we saw him in Ahu's. I bet if we go back, we'd see him a lot more. You know what I mean? We'll see like little things where
True.
it's like he'll probably be in a lot of the earlier arcs that we just like never picked up on. So I think that that's really cool how he's just not like just OP and mysterious, but the fact that it's like anybody could be X. I really like that idea. You know what I mean? Like his not hero
Yeah.
form is kind of like anything. So I cannot wait to see like why that is, where he got his powers, and like whose side he's on. Because we have two companies, he's not on either. So his arc is going to be mind blowing. I want to know. I didn't see anything about it. I feel like it's just gonna be a normal episode. But like if they dropped like a 1 hour ep, I'm just saying.
Oh, you took the words right out of my mouth, brother.
Yeah.
Let me get an hour app. Let me get an hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes. Let me glaze.
Yeah.
Give me the fan service that I need, and I'll be happy. But you know what? I'll be happy with 24 minutes.
Bro,
Because you know it's going to pop.
yeah, you know they're gonna do a lot in this 24 minutes. They've proven that. I mean, like they fucking kill. The fact that they did Ahu's arc, his episode was phenomenal. I think it's genuinely one of those things where it's like, yeah, they are really really good. Like they are. This is impressive, and I think it is definitely worth end of the year nomination for sure. It's so good.
Dude, I feel like at this point in time, right now on September 10th, that is my vote. This is my anime of the year. It's incredibly original. It's creative.
Hmm.
It's fucking deep. It has a lot of foreshadowing. The art, the music. You have a rock
Yes.
star hero. The music is sensational. You have a lot of like deep cut, very emotional plot points that I think, it's hard to take aside. Look at Nice. Kind of a piece of shit in the grand scheme of things, but like he was forced to do a lot of stuff and like trying to prove himself. I think that makes for an incredible anime. To Be Hero X is perfect. And I've literally already said this, but you and I were like, oh yeah, Ahu's arc, like not really that excited for it. We're not worried about it.
Hmm.
And we're like, we texted each other and we're like, damn, this was fucking heavy. This
Yeah.
shit hit hard. So good. Just 10 out of 10 everywhere around.
That's what I think is not going to be able to like beat the summer season, because the summer season anime pushed the boundaries of anime. I mean, Takapi's Original Sin. I mean, so goddamn depressing, so unbelievably good with the twists and the turns. Only 6 episodes from start to finish of the whole story. It was phenomenal. You've never seen a depressing anime, because that's like a kind of like a niche. Some psychopaths, I don't know, like we enjoy it. It is amazing, but like they never get that popular. You know what I mean? Like that blew up. That's very impressive. Also Gachi Akuta or Gachi Akuta, that is 100% taking
Ah,
anime and like showing it to like the next level. It's in a different league. It's so unbelievably good. And then To Be Hero X, I mean, you dropped 24 episodes of just like it has like no manga. No one really knows kind of what's gonna be happening. You know what I mean? It's like we're gonna take these stories, do like these mini arcs where like it's kind of always different. And it's like, oh wow, this is new, this is different, this is impressive. They're doing a really good job at it because it's a phenomenal story with plot twists and foreshadowing. It's fucking insane, especially with like episode 1 at the end where what's her face, the girl's like on the bed like dead, and you're like, what the fuck happened?
Moon just cooked, head blown out, dude.
Yeah, and then we see like that was Moon's like ending at the end of that arc. That was like what ended up happening. You know what I mean? Like it's just been insane. And then you have some of these arcs that string together and kind of tell more of a story. Like the music, like you said, it's the fight scenes. The fight scenes, the animation. There's so much about 2B Hero X that is just so unique and pushing things like further. Like it's going to a whole nother level.
And their power system,
Oh my
like
god.
nobody is. Well, let me take that back. X is the goat.
Yeah.
To be To Be Hero X is like very fair. It's very balanced. It's a lot about matchup. Like certain heroes couldn't like do well against other heroes, but in the same breath, like To Be Hero X or Hero X could basically smoke everybody. We've seen how he did it with Queen, but like the power system is very balanced. It's very fair, and like it just depends on your ability. And I like that.
Hmm.
Like you can't just be OP. Like you have to have the situational awareness and be good in that moment. And I think that makes for like a compelling anime where like you just don't have that MC who's like, for a lack of a better word, Naruto or Ichigo, where like they're the MC, they got the goat inside them, and
Oh
they make
yeah.
it happen.
Yeah.
Like 2B Hero X does a good job of like balancing everybody.
Here's the thing too, it's kind of like a hot take. I don't think X is actually that like brain dead or OP, where it's just like this guy just solos everybody. The thing is that there's so much mystery around him, you don't know his abilities, so you don't know how to fight him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like Queen, she couldn't do anything. He just snapped and she like woke up and said, "What the fuck happened?" I bet if people knew his abilities, they'd be able to beat him. But here's the thing we gotta remember too: there's two companies that are kind of controlling the heroes. They have their own agendas of what they're trying to do, right? X doesn't seem to be a part of that. We have no clue who this guy is, where he came from, or what his powers, fully truly are, right? So that adds, it gives him an advantage. And let's be honest too, there's been a lot of chaos throughout this series. He won the first Heroes tournament, well, the first that we've kind of seen, where he beat Queen and he took the #1 spot. After that, didn't they all get like postponed or canceled? Because like there's a lot of like fighting between, there was a bunch of like fear outbreaks, and then like I remember there was like a couple of times where like everyone got hurt, and they're like, oh yeah, well since a bunch of people are hurt, we just decided we're going to cancel this year's tournament, and X is going to reign for the third year in a row. I feel like there hasn't been many tournaments that he's actually fought in. He's just kind of been around everybody. He's very smart, very in the know, because he's in everybody's arc, watching, waiting, you know what I mean, learning, studying. So I feel like it's a knowledge gap is what it really is. We need to know a lot more about X to kind of like see what's really going on. But I feel like if you were to understand his abilities, because also in Dragon Boy's arc, the one dude was studying him, the cafe guy who's kind of running that second company. He kind of had it all like be a trap where he was watching and he saw X show up and he's like he saw the necklace. He saw like that little emblem he had. He's like, oh, you
Yeah.
have that. That makes sense. Is that giving X like a power up, a power boost? Is that his thing? If he doesn't have that, is he not able to turn into X? Because we know he's like a different form. So I feel like there's so much mystery around X, and I feel like he's gonna be a lot more like cooler and relatable when we can actually know more about him.
Yeah, that's a good point. Once you get to know him, like you'll relate to him a little more.
Yeah.
But like he basically shows up as this like handsome salaryman, like wherever is like convenient. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Like at the vending machine, like, oh yeah, Ahu, let me buy this drink and just make it happen. Dude, he's so fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
But like once you learn his like backstory maybe a little bit or his abilities, I think it'll be a little bit more like practical. But it's still like so hard to say because we've seen a lot of really sick powers so far.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Queen's rules, like there's some really heavy like OP abilities. X reigns above all of them by far. So I'm really excited to see the breakdown and kind of like hopefully in this episode we get how he became to be this hero and like a little backstory of what makes Hero X Hero X.
Yeah, and let's not forget too. We got to give a lot of credit to the rest of the cast, the rest of the heroes. They're pretty fucking strong. We've seen multiple people take out former X's. You know what I mean? Former number one heroes throughout the series. Johnny did
Little
it.
Johnny,
Queen did it.
Isol.
Yeah.
Isol is tough as shit.
Well, Isol took out other
Queen did it.
Isol, but little Johnny took out the Hero X of that time, the current one. Queen took out the previous one. She took out that one girl who's trying to climb back to the top. Ghostblade took out the DJ guy who used to be number one as well. You know, we had multiple people that have fought to be Hero X at X and have won. And it's like, they're strong, you know what I mean? And they've come a long way since then as well. So I don't think that we can really sleep on anybody. I feel like, next episode we're going to learn about X, where everything's going to kind of come full circle. And we're going to be like, oh my god, it's the best thing ever. And then we're going to do our votings, and it's going to be so goddamn hard. It's going to be a ton of fun. We're doing videos on that. But season 2...
can't wait.
Bro, season 2 is going to be like anime of the year this year, where it's just like, I love so many of them. So many of them can win, and I'd be so goddamn happy. It's like when you appreciate the sport and not the team. You know what I mean? Have you ever, like, hockey? Love hockey, right? You can sit there, watch a Flyers game, and root for the Flyers, and it's great. Flyers win, yes. They lose, fuck you. It's the reffing, right? But it hits different, bro, when you go to, like, a college game, and you don't give a shit about either team. And you're just there for the love of the sport. Every goal you celebrate, you know what I mean? Every fight you root for. It's the best. And I feel like season 2, when we have so many heroes that we fucking love, so many of these fights, we're just gonna be rooting for the sake of just the peakness, the cinematic masterpiece that it'll be. It's not like we're just riding on one person. Because like you said, 2B Hero X, it doesn't have an MC, really. You know what I mean? It doesn't have somebody that we're kind of like fully focused on. Everybody has different characters that they're rooting for. Everybody has like a rating system that's always different of like who they like best. There's multiple people that we'd love to see win. So season 2 is going to be absolutely cinematic. It's gonna be incredible.
Season 2 will be something else, dude. The fact that it's interactive and you can get to vote after in jaw-dropping season of anime, a 24 episode heater, like the fact that we get to have like input on how they'll structure it, I think sets us up for like one of the best seasons of anime ever. Season 2 to be Hero X will be phenomenal. Imagine like the plot points that we've gotten until now, but with our input. I think that'll be fucking some of the best stuff we've seen in anime in a long time.
And I feel like the voting's gonna be a lot of fun. I think I had a lot of fun with the Naruto voting, you know what I mean? I don't even remember that, but it was the top 100, I think last year, where it was like voting for like your favorite Naruto characters, and I think whoever won was gonna get like their own little like manga little series. And it was like really cool to see like who's everyone's favorite were and stuff like that. I think this is gonna be a lot more fun because Naruto is pretty much a set world where like everyone kind of has their favorites. Everyone's list isn't too like different. 2B Hero X though, a lot of people have different favorites. You know what I mean? And there's so many people to love because it wasn't just always focused on one person. So I feel like this voting is going to be so like dynamic, so more volatile, because it's going to be way more all over the place. Hopefully it's not going to be everyone voting for X, you know what I mean? Because I feel like X has kind of been that stud through, and his arc's going to make him like even better, So I hope like X isn't really in the voting, because I think if he's not, it's so open of who's going to end up like coming out on top. Like anybody has a chance. And again, it's like when you appreciate the sport and not the team, it's kind of like you're just in it for like oh, this is amazing. Like, this is incredible. This is awesome. Some of this fights are going to be hard, too. If, like, little Johnny goes up against Lucky Cyan, like, bro, I don't want to see that fight. Whoa. Bro, that'd be devastating.
But we have no idea. It's the tournament. Like, you have no choice for saying it. Dude, you're so right. I think it'll be fucking phenomenal. And, like, I agree with you. I don't want to see Hero X in it. We all know he's the stud. He's got aura. He's him. Remove him from that projection and let everybody else like vote on the other heroes, I think that would set up for like a really exciting but contentious like layout. You know what I mean? Like it'll be really tight. I think 2BRX is super popular, so like you would have tons of people like competing to see whose hero is really the most popular.
Yeah, and again, I love that system too because we saw it like being manipulated in Easel's arc, where it's like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use it to manipulate and to kind of fuck over the other person, right? Because you're kind of dictated of what the crowd wants, and now we're the crowd. Like that's pretty fucking cool. We can kind of like determine who's gonna be strong and who's gonna be weak. Like that's pretty fucking awesome. I think this gives a lot of a nerf to some people that might be too strong that shouldn't be, but also redemption for other people. Like this can be Ghostblade's return. Ghostblade left, bro. He
Ooh.
retired. He has fallen from grace as he got walked by that fucking kid Isol. Like that's insane. We could end
Get
up,
smoked, bro.
yeah, we could end up voting to kind of bring him back and give him some love again. You know what I mean? Like that power, that like interactiveness. I feel like it creates for such an exciting season, but it's just fucking awesome. And like again, it's just so unique, so awesome. It's like that's why it's like, dude, anime of the year this year. It's gonna be so hard to vote for, but I feel like you need to make way more categories to give love to so many of these animes. I feel like this is the year of anime, like unbiased. Like you look at some of the animes that have been dropping, not just seasons of massive titles, but the premieres that we have gotten. I feel like this is like a slingshot of like, hey, anime is changing. It is getting way more popular. Big companies, which isn't really a good thing, are investing more money into it, and you can see
Right.
like it's going in a different direction. Well, not like in a different direction. It's taking that next step. You know what I mean? Where it's going further because it's not like bad. I feel like I said this on the podcast right this week. Anime has never been better than right now. Anime services, like the streaming services, have never been worse. They are fucking atrocious. You know what I mean? So far, anime is good. You know what I mean? Big companies haven't like fucked them up yet. It's been solid. It's been great so far. But yeah, the services have been like Crunchyroll losing its comment section. A fucking Netflix is a disaster. Like I'll bring it up every chance I get. But you know, fuck Netflix, fuck Crunchy. Bring back the comment section and anime's peak. It's like the same thing on repeat. I gotta get like a tattoo.
Dude, so true though. I think we're in a really good spot. I think summer 25 is one of the best seasons of anime of all time.
Mhm.
Like I've been watching anime since I was a kid. Like I grew up on Dragon Ball Z, seeing premieres, big staple names come back. You're seeing incredibly creative stuff. You have interactive content where you can vote on what happens in season 2.
Mhm.
Dude, anime has never been better. It's never been more exciting and interactive. And I think for me, like as an OG anime fan,
Oh, 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 oh.
I'm old. Nah, I'm just kidding. But like as an OG fan, like to see how big it's gotten, like my boss's kids, like they'll come in, to like wait before they go to school.
Yeah.
They got anime backpacks, a Naruto backpack and a Sasuke backpack.
Oh,
I
that's
was like,
fucking
yeah.
awesome.
First off, dude, so sick. And they're like, oh yeah, all the seniors, like we all have like character backpacks and like we do anime shit every day. It's like, dude, I would get beat up back in the day for that. Like, it's beautiful to see how far it's come and how like kind of a mainstay it is in like American entertainment. You got the Demon Slayer movie, dude, in movie theaters. It's really grown to a very different level. So to see how like all these new animes, especially premieres, To Be Hero X, Gachiakuta, Solo Leveling, like all these new animations, like they're really captivating people, and I think it's very exciting. And like if you're an anime fan, I hope you love it. If you're not a fan, like dive into it. You know what I mean? Get into it because the fandoms are really fun. We lost our comments on Crunchyroll.
That
That
hurts.
does hurt.
That hurts.
That hurts. But still, it's a lot of fun. The website you showed me, comic for reading manga, you got comments on there that are sensational.
Yeah.
It's so much fun, and as an anime fan, we've never been in a better place than we are now, and I just enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Enjoy
it's
it.
gonna be devastating when season 2 for TBRX is over. You know what I mean? Because it's like, dude, you got to keep stuff like this going on. Hopefully, this breathes new life into new series or like new genres, kind of like this, where like it's more interactive. I feel like that'd be a ton of fun. Aren't they doing that shit with like dating shows too? Like on Netflix, isn't there like some popular reality dating show where people can like vote who is off or not?
I would imagine. I'm
It's
more
becoming
of
more
a
of a thing.
K-drama guy
Bro, American
rather than
Idol
a
was the same way, where like you vote for like who's gonna
yeah,
be.
yeah,
Yeah, like if
right.
anime kind of gets into that, like there was like I don't want to go like, too much into it, but like you can kind of see the like how
This
cool it
man
could
is
be.
cooking.
Hey,
This
yo,
man is cooking.
this is why it's fun though to talk about anime because Blake's an OG, but I also sadly came into anime late. I'm a newbie, you know what I mean? So like that's what's so cool of
But you
seeing,
still got OG status because you got class, brother.
bro. Speaking of class. I kind of texted you to this. You know, Gachi Akita, the author, was an assistant to Soul Eater's mangaka. Soul Eater is getting a fucking remake by Studio Bones. It's fucking back, baby. A fucking Soul Eater. Apparently, I watched
Let's
it.
go.
I loved it. Soul Eater caught up with the manga at like episode like whatever, like 40 something. So like the last 15 episodes were not canon, and people were like, dude, they went way off of the reservation from the manga. It's kind of like Tokyo Ghoul. So not only is Studio Bones, which has such a fucking amazing fucking animation style that fits perfectly with Soul Eater, it's bringing Soul Eater back with like upgraded animation, like kind of coming back, and they're kind of maybe going more towards the manga side, where it's like we're not taking like extra liberties. We're back to it. So listen, boys, anime is fucking peaking. As someone who's like new-ish into anime, like a couple of years, and just been degenerately watching it, like degenerately, I'm also stoked that we are like still giving love to older animes. You know what I mean? It's like there's been over the past couple years animes that haven't gotten a new season in like 5 years that got new seasons. We're seeing remakes. I think that like of like animes that deserve it. I think that is peak. And we've also talked about Bartender. That is another one that got a remake, got a second chance, and that was really fucking sick too.
My fucking man, dude. Bartender, Witch Watch, Black Lagoon. My man says he's newish to the game, but you're watching OG shit. You got class, brother. We are cultured. You're the finest essence of it. But there's so much to enjoy. Like, there's so much good shit out there. Like, for whatever your gambit is, whatever you like. If you're into ecchi shit, there's plenty of it. If you're into shonen, there's more than enough.
No, there's too much.
There's probably too much.
So
you got 1,100 episodes of One Piece to go, brother. But like, especially the premieres. There's so many good premieres. There's so many amazing new mangaka. There's so many amazing new animations that I think people should check out. And the OG stuff is obviously OG for a reason. Naruto, DBZ, Bleach, One Piece, etc. It's great. But all the new stuff that we're seeing this season shows how far anime has come and how great it is every fucking week.
Dude, it's so fucking good. Anime is at its peak, and To Be Hero X is the flag at the peak of that fucking mountain, shining bright over the horizon. It is beautiful. It is wonderful. Yo, listen, guys, if you want to hear like more talk about anime, like I said, this is kind of how the podcast goes. Drops every week. It's a ton of fun. We drop a ton of anime content of stuff coming out, stuff about to come out, sleepers, manga, and manhwa, dumbass. All right, like.
You already know, baby. We're in it.
But anyways, guys,
right.
I hope you guys have been enjoying To Be Hero X. It has been seriously such a journey so far over these past, 23 episodes. They have gone by so fast. It has been phenomenal. Season finale this weekend. Go out, get some good snacks. I'm going to get some nice ice cream. I'm going to get comfy, going to watch it. It's going to be an experience because it's going to be one that we are not going to forget. It is going to be one of the best anime episodes of the year. It is going to be phenomenal. We hope you guys are ready. We'll be back next week talking about a bunch of badass anime and talking about To Be Hero X. We hope you guys enjoy. Let us know down in the comments below. So far, who's your favorite character? Who's your favorite hero?
Yeah.
And yeah, let us know what you've been thinking of this anime. But anyways, that is it, guys. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And that is it. Later. Peace.